Hey everyone, and welcome to today's craft video. I'm sorry that it's a lot later than I actually thought it was going to be. It should have been up on Friday, but the trees took me longer to make than I ever thought. But yeah, I hope you like this winter scene that I've made, and yeah, let's get into the video and I'll show you how I made it. So the first thing you're going to need is some acrylic paints. I use these for the day and the cardboard, and I'm also using some of the auto spray paint. This is £1 from Poundland, a tin, and then I picked up 2 reindeer decorations from B&M's. It was £2.99 for the 2 of them, and these are what I'm going to paint for the middle of the scene. Then I'm also using some of the trees that I made. I will link in the description below the video to how to make them. I think it's the last craft video that I made. I've got some pine cones and some white berries. I've got a block, well, I've got 2 blocks of Oasis and some wooden skewers. And then the main thing that I'm going to be using is a box that I had. I like this because obviously it was quite deep and it had the back to it already, so it was perfect for what I wanted it for. You'll also need a glue gun, a pair of scissors, a pair of wire cutters, some sellotape, and a craft knife as well. I think that's everything. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to speed the video up, but I'm just going to measure the width of the box, and then I'm going to mark that on the Oasis, and then use a craft knife or just a spare kitchen knife that I've got that I'm going to use to cut it. So I'm just marking it with a marker and a ruler, and yeah, I'm just going to cut this with a knife until I get the width that I need. And while I'm doing that, I'd just like to say, if you're new here, I'm Jo. Welcome. I make craft videos, haul videos, and an occasional vlog video. If you're returning, as always, my friends, it's great to see you again. Sorry I've not uploaded, but this took longer than I thought it was gonna, and I wanted to make sure that it was exactly how I wanted it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, it'd be great if you could do. I'm trying to grow my channel, obviously, and yeah, thank you for all your continued support. And yeah, let's get back into it. So once I've got the width that I wanted, I'm going to measure the height of the box, and it was just over 1 inch, and then I'm just going to mark that on the Oasis, and then draw a line, and again cut that with the knife that I've got. And I have to say that cutting Oasis is like the least of my favourite things to do. I don't like the feel of it. I don't like the way it crumbles. Yeah, it's not my favourite thing to do. But I'm just going to fill the rest of the box. And yeah, we can get on to the next part. So I'm happy with how it's looking. I've just decided to use this because I wanted to make sure I had lots of snow, and I wanted to not have to fill the whole thing. But I'm just going to stick the ends of the box together, and I'm going to cut off the edges of the cardboard as well using a craft knife, and I'll be back once that's done. So I've glued the sides together and I've cut off the edges around the cardboard box, and now we can get on to the next part, and I'm going to spray paint the back of the box and around the outside of the cardboard box as well, white with the auto spray paint, and I'm also going to spray the 2 reindeer white as well as a base coat for painting them with acrylic paints. So I'm going to go and do that and leave them to dry, and I will be back once that's done. So the box is dry now and I'm happy with how it's looking, and I'm going to start to paint the back, and I want it to be a night sky. So I'm just using some blue acrylic paint. I got this set of paints from B&M's. It was £5.99 and I absolutely love the stuff. And yeah, it's probably one of my favourite buys from B&M's, as well as my Turner and Grey spray paint, which I normally use. But I'm just going to use a thick paintbrush and I'm just going to completely cover the back of the box. And I think I did 3 or 4 coats in the end to get it as dark as I wanted. So yeah, I'm going to just do that and let it dry, and I will be back for the next step. So while that's drying, I'm now going to paint the deer, and I wanted them to look as realistic as possible. So I'm going to use a light brown acrylic paint to do the body, and then I'm going to use a dark acrylic paint to do the hooves and the antlers as well. And I ended up doing, I think, 4 coats of each colour in the end, just to get them exactly how I wanted. But I'm going to do that off camera and let them dry, and I will be back after I've done that. So the back of the box is now dry and I'm happy with how it's looking, and we can get on to adding the lights into the back. So again, I'm probably going to speed up the video as I talk over it, but I'm using a 20 pack of the clear LED string lights. These are from Poundland and they are like an ice blue colour. And I always check to see that they're working before I ever use lights in any of my crafts, because if I do it all and then it's not working, I'd be devastated. So I always check them first. But I'm just going to start off with sticking the box at the back of I'm going to stick the battery box to the back of the cardboard box, and I'm just going to use a little bit of sellotape to hold it into place. And then I'm just going to gather the wire at the end, and I'm also going to use a tiny little bit of sellotape to keep that into place as well. And then we can start adding the lights. I really enjoyed doing this bit actually. I found it really fun. So I'm just going to take the first light and I'm just going to use my finger as a rough guide and hold it in place. And then I'm just going to take a craft knife and just make a small hole. And then I'm going to use a pair of scissors and make the hole a little bit bigger. In the end, I figured out that a screwdriver was the perfect width for the lights to push through, so I did use a screwdriver in the end. But yeah, and then I just pushed the light through the hole that I made, trimmed off the little bit of cardboard. I found that using the screwdriver didn't leave any cardboard, so it was a lot easier to do that. And there's the first one. And then all I'm going to do is take the next light on the wire and again hold it in place where I want to make the hole as a rough guide, just to make sure that it's long enough to reach the next hole. Again, make a little bit of a hole with a craft knife, and then I used a screwdriver after I did this last one with the scissors. And again, just push it through. And then I'm going to do the whole back, but I'm going to miss out the middle section because I'm going to have quite a large tree, so you're not going to see them. So this is what it looks like when I've done all 20, and I've used bits of sellotape to just keep the wire in place, and I'm really happy with how this is looking. I'm so chuffed that I decided to do this, and yeah, I'm just really chuffed with it. So we can get on to the next section. So now I'm going to add the fake snow. This is $1.99 from B&M's, and I realised I completely forgot it when I was doing the intro with all the things that we will need. So I used this in when I made the miniature trees, when I was experimenting with them, and all I'm going to do is take some PVA glue and I'm going to put a large amount on. And then I'm just going to start to add some of the snow. And this is why I wanted there to be quite like a ridge around the edge of the box, because I knew I wanted to add quite a fair amount of snow to the box. So I'm just going to put quite a bit on, and then I'm just going to push that down into the glue until it's completely covered. And then I'm going to do that with the whole of the base of the box, and I'll be back in a second. So it's completely covered now. I'm really happy with how it's looking. I need to let it dry for 24 hours. So I'm going to do that, and then I will be back once we're ready for the next part. So I've moved camera angles so you can see better, but this is how we're looking at the moment, and then we can start adding the trees. So I've been making trees for a couple of days. I made a large one for the center, and again, like I said, I will leave a link in the description to how I made the trees. And it is the last crafts video that I did. So I made a Poundland Christmas video yesterday, and it's a video before that. My deer are nice and dry, and I'm happy with how they're looking, so I'm just going to place them in the center, and then I'm going to add some more of the trees that I made, and I'm just making sure it's symmetrical on each side. And I made some trees with trunks, and then I made some just to sit on the snow. And the ones with the trunks, I'm just pushing into the oasis. And then I'm going to put the lights on and see what it looks like. So now I'm just going to decorate the front. I'm using some of the white berries. These are from Poundland for a pack of 5. And I'm just using some wire cutters to cut off the stems. I don't need them. I just want the leaves and the berries. And then all I'm going to do is just glue some of the white berries, and then a pine cone, and then some more white berries, and then I'm going to add some fake snow to the trees, and I will be back once it's finished. So here it is. This is how it's looking, and I'm so chuffed with it. I've got a wobbly tree, and yeah, I'm just really pleased with it. So added the snow, just sprinkled it over the trees. I've done the fronts, I've left the sides, but what I have decided, I wasn't going to do it originally, but since I've finished it now, I'm actually going to make a fence for around the sides. But I'll do that when I'm doing Vlogmas. I'm not going to do a video on doing that, and I'm not going to do it yet, but I will do that when I'm doing Vlogmas. So I'll show you how I did that when I'm recording over Christmas. But I'm super happy with how it's turned out. I love the trees. It's taken me a good 4 or 5 days to do it, but I'm absolutely over the moon with the results. And this is what it looks like with the lights on, and then I'm going to turn the light out so you can see what it looks like when the lights are off. And here it is. So yeah, I'm just in love with it. I'm so happy with how it's looking, and it was definitely worth the amount of time that it took for me to make it. Like in my other video, when I made the other trees, I made trees that were a lot quicker to make. So if you wanted to do this, I would recommend probably using the other trees if you don't want to spend that amount of time. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, everybody. I'm sorry that it took so long to make, but yeah, I'm just over the moon, and I'll see you on Wednesday for the next craft video. Bye for now.